Oh, I see what you
It's
were.
not really,
I had to call it something.
it's not really an emergency, but
If we don't pay the
we
bills,
pay the bills, that's kind of an emergency.
it's an emergency. If we don't pay the bills.
Yeah. People don't.
We're frozen.
There's a delay. You don't want to watch your, yeah, there's always a delay. That's why we don't look at ourselves.
Okay.
Okay, so go back here. I will go back and find the meeting. Got it. Share out the screen.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay, I'd like to call to order the Wednesday, August 9th, Board of Trustees meeting. You'll notice if you're watching, we have 4 trustees in the room. We have 2 trustees that have conflicts or out of town or other, so we need to have this meeting to do a couple actions. You'll also notice that the agenda is a truncated agenda, so this will move through it. First order of business is to review the previous meeting minutes, which I don't think we have.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So we'll do that on Monday, on the regular meeting. So the financial report on page 2 to 10. Is there any questions on the financial report?
I think where it records revenue, the line for fines had an amount on it, it said like, so remind me, the fines come from,
Well, because that was in there, we're dealing with last year. So
Okay.
it's not, this isn't this report is from the annual budget for 2023-24.
There are some.
Yeah, I
there
think
are some fines.
right.
See, it said a 1 month's worth of fines, so I just tweeted, I wasn't sure what,
So, sorry, yes, finding my level.
yes, sir.
Fines are from the library things,
Museum
museum passes and other Wi-Fi hotspots, those specialty items, interlibrary loan books that still have fines.
Thank
They're
you.
still,
That's
they're
that's
still,
the only question I have.
yeah, super minor, but that's there.
Okay, any other questions on this financial report?
It's shared super quick version. It's just the beginning of the year. So the tax money's not in yet. That'll be coming in October. So this is the part of the year where we float on the fund balance until our tax money comes in. So it looks like all the lines are full, but of course the cash isn't in yet. So you can see that in your.
And that's one of the reasons we carry the fund balance at the level it is, because it takes, I forget how much, it's like $1 million something.
1.4.
Yeah, something like that,
1.4.
in order to sustain the library until the tax revenue.
Yeah, I didn't see anything extraordinary in this.
No, it's beginning of the year. Encumbrances are a little higher than you might normally expect because some things are encumbered, like the phone bill. We encumber the whole year of the phone bill. We know that that's going to be there. Some things are every month, so we just do the encumbrances for the whole year. Other than that, seems relatively minor.
Okay, take a motion on the financial report for the March.
So moved.
Second. Okay, thanks, all those in favor, I would say yes, or raise your hand. Seeing no opposition, that motion carries. For the personnel report, page 11.
Okay, so we're actively filling a number of positions up top, and that's moving along actually quite well. I have 2 requests here. One for a full-time senior clerk that I'd like to backfill, and a part-time page at 12.8 hours.
Any questions, positions?
No, just in terms of the Monday meeting is when you'll start talking about we've discussed with the personnel committee, potential reorganization, since no action can be taken on that, at least it'll be informational in the following meeting, so there will be personal actions coming. If the board approves the reorganization.
Okay, take a motion on.
I make a motion to approve the hiring of a library clerk in the library page.
I'll second it. And so not position that has to be carried as well. couple other items.
Okay. So
Business items.
yes, so the first item that we have is the agreement for shared services with the town of Bethlehem. The Public Works and Highway Department, some of the folks over there have been gracious and kind enough to want to work with us to provide blacktop for the plaza, so that help with some of our icing issues. And frankly, I think the cost came in at a completely reasonable price, much lower than I was expecting it to be. So this MOU has been looked at by their attorneys and our attorneys, and everybody agrees that we want to work together and we're all working nicely. And I would like approval to get this signed. The town board has already voted on this, so we'll get it all official and then we can get on the docket to get this done.
So I just have some kind of visuals. So I'm envisioning the walkway, and so there are these paved, there are some concrete.
Correct.
Columns, I don't know what.
Stripes.
Thank you. And then there's brick in
strips.
between.
Yes.
So are you replacing between the main struts and?
And it was the reason that they recommended, and we had they're very helpful with us, they recommended that we not replace the brick with concrete, which was my original request. They said that's a lot of work and you have to form, and it doesn't work the way I want to do. They said what would replace that brick easily, just leave the concrete in place as the edges, all of those strips and edges, leave that all in, and just take the brick up, go right over the top of it with asphalt. And they said that would that should help our freezing issue.
I think there are numbers at the end of that. Remember,
Absolutely.
put those up just so people.
We're taking out the bricks ourselves.
I
is
saw
that
Our
what
maintenance
you're-
staff is doing that. Yep.
Oh, the maintenance is doing, because I saw that, something that, like, I read it, and said that the library responsible for removal of bricks, and so,
They're ready.
and how are you gonna cover the things that they would have been doing if they're not removing bricks?
I think it's hopefully it's a little bit later in the fall, so some of the mowing might slow down compared to rainy May and hot summer. So they're gonna just do it as a special project.
Do you need special, I don't know how to remove bricks, do you know?
Yeah, that's what I was.
No, they're gonna use Scoopy, the Bobcat. They're gonna use the Bobcat. They're gonna just pick the bricks up, put them in the scoop, and then let them next door.
And just for the record, I see this is to be done by October 31st.
Correct.
Supposed to be sometime in the fall.
It's there, that's just kind of they wanted to set a date out that would be as far as it would possibly go. Their expectation is because they voted on this Wednesday. Maybe tonight they're voting on it. We may be voting on it all at the same time. This board meeting tonight. So we're voting on this. The expectation is it happens by end August or early September. That's when they think it can happen, but they wanted to give enough flexibility if there's a road emergency or something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but it'll be done by November.
Yeah,
at the very least.
Before snow flies.
And then we talked about, obviously, it's gonna look different than it looks now,
Yes.
so once it's done, you talk about a beautification effort, just as an individual solution.
It might be interesting to do like a public relations campaign with like. You'll notice that it looks different, we are aware, and as part of the larger project, we'll be beautifying, blah, blah, blah. Please be patient, will notice the difference, we did it because of this, so.
Yeah, the whole concept of the plaza leaves in any of the renovation plans that we looked at.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
It
Just getting out in front of it, just saying, you will notice the difference, we know.
Right, it's a safety issue.
Yeah.
Make sure it's safe. Okay, do you need a motion on this?
I do.
Okay. Motion.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'll second it.
Carolyn, sorry, mainly Carolyn, all those favors, signify by saying yes. Motion's carried. Next thing is a memorandum of understanding with the school district.
Right. Okay, so here, this is a longstanding agreement, and I'll explain this as simply as I can, where the school district is at the table for negotiating pilot agreements. So you have the IDA, Town of Bethlehem typically, and the school district. Those are the folks at the table. The library is also entitled to be at the table, and the school district very much says, hey, can we handle this? Please don't get in there and complicate these negotiations. This is a long time ago when PSEG first went in. This is where this came up. And the school district said, we'll negotiate on your behalf. We will give you the proportionate share, sort of school budget over library budget, that ratio. The pilot, when the pilots come in, we get the same ratio. And in order to, as our contribution to the MOU, we agree to pay back any of the tax certiorari when someone challenges their property tax and the school district has to pay back people, we pay the library portion of that tax. And so those are, about $4,000 a year or a little bit less of those tax refunds right now. I know PSEG is ending at some time, but we've gotten about more than $200,000 a year in pilot agreements. So this is very much into the library's favor to have this. Agreement. So
I noticed that there was a note
Yeah.
on the second page.
and the change is that the way it was drafted is that they will renew, because we always forget, like we and the school district forget about this. It's important that we have this. It expires. So it continues to, everything continues on even when it expires. So they're just putting in an automatic renewal term. Either of us can cancel this with 90 days notice before the renewal date, but it will just renew every year. That's the change to this document.
So I'm looking at my attorney colleague. So does that mean that we don't look at this after August 25th? It automatically renews?
It'll automatically renew every year,
Yes, unless we say otherwise, 90 days.
90 days before the.
So it means then every 2 years, we don't revisit the issue?
Correct.
Is it important to revisit the issue every 2 years?
I think that we would know, the idea is that we would know if there was an issue that we could say 90 days before, we're not gonna renew unless you negotiate. So there's that protection in there, but this protects us more by making it evergreen so that we don't forget it expires. It's very common in contracts.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so it would be something to put on Sherry's calendar every 2 years
To
to pay attention and or maybe even annually advise the board that if there's anything that should be, because as you said, everyone forgets. And if it's renewing itself, there may be something.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a change in law or, I mean,
If
really, this PSEG that has granted both the school and the library millions of dollars since they put it in, is that the term of that contract is coming to an end relatively soon. So everything else is drips and drabs. It's a very short, it's little amounts of money, SEFCU is a couple $100 and the other, I mean, maybe something big will go over, Plug Power maybe something, or if there's ever a pilot money to come from the wind farm tower construction down, some of that's in the Bethlehem School District. But really, our pilots are going to go from it being a very big deal to it being a relatively.
So it sounds like the actual text will then change because it says discuss term and automatic renewal. So I assume that will be.
This note will come out, but the
text will stay.
the text is in there to.
So I'm looking at my attorney.
Yes, no, the text is already in there. So
Okay,
it
yeah,
says the initial term,
Okay.
so it goes for a year.
I'll renew automatically
Yeah.
to succeed terms.
On
Okay, so
succeeding
the
terms
text
for, so it goes for 1 year terms unless either party gives written notice to the other party in at least 90 days notice.
will- So the note comes out, every
The note
note says
comes
that.
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, any questions on that? No. Motion on this one?
I make a motion to accept the MOU for the pilot program.
Second,
Those in favor, signify by raising your hand. Motion carries. Okay, any other new business? Any other new business? Tonight. Okay, second motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor, signify by raising your hand. Okay. Meeting adjourned.
Shall we?
Yeah.